Alright guys, today I'm going to be reviewing some of the hardest chewing gums on the internet, and I know all of you guys want to grow that chiseled jawline that you see all over TikTok, and it's not as easy as it thinks. It takes some practice. Now in this video, obviously I'm going to review these chewing gums right here. These are some of the hardest chewing gums I could find, some from Jawline, others from other brands. And look, not all chewing gums are going to give you the same result. So I just want to go and show you which ones are going to work best and why. And there's also some key takeaways from this video, guys, of how you can get a chiseled jawline, the steps you can take to get that chiseled jawline, such as exercise, genetics, or just exercises to grow the masseter muscle, which is the muscle in your jaw and around your jaw that's going to essentially grow your jawline to looking masculine and how you want it. And my first impression of this chewing gum is it does look a lot more premium than some of the other gums that I've seen on the market. So let's just see inside. Brand new packet, just open now. You can see the chewing gums are actually pretty big as well. They're a lot bigger than the regular gum you get from, the supermarket or convenience stores. And when you try to break it with your fingers, it's literally solid. Like, you can break a normal chewing gum easily just by squeezing it. These ones are very, very hard. They're like a piece of rock. Look, tapping on there, it's just solid. Like, you're not gonna break that easily. So we're gonna test these out in this video to see how they are, how they taste, and if it actually grows your jawline. Now, if we compare the hardness of Jawline to other brands like the Jawline gum, then you'll notice there will be some slight differences. This one is the Magic Gum and Jawline gum. Now you can see off first impressions, this gum is completely different to the Jawline gum and also the other gums. So they all look different, but they all say they do the same thing. So really we want to find out which one actually works best. The Jawline one is a lot smaller in shape, but is very, very hard. Then you've got the Jawline gum, which is similar in shape, seems to be quite hard too. And then you've got the other one, looks very, very different, but actually seems a little bit softer because you can kind of bend it on the corners, right? So it must be a little bit softer. And then the tough strips is just completely bendy. But like, why do we even need to chew harder? Like, why do we need that chiseled jawline? Why do our gums and do our jaws actually need to work like that? Well, in the past, people naturally had wider and stronger jaws because they chewed harder foods. Today, our food is super soft, and that's why sometimes your jaw isn't as solid and isn't as structured as they were in the past. Wisdom teeth don't even fit anymore because we're just not using them. We're not even like chewing hard enough foods to make them even work. So what's the natural solution to that? We need to be chewing harder foods. But if we can't chew harder foods, the other solution is chew harder gum. So instead of chewing harder food all day, which is obviously going to be a bit of a pain, like hard chewing gum like this is essentially just going to mimic that feeling. It simulates intense chewing, but in a natural way. Specifically designed to hit the masseter muscle, which is going to improve the strength and the muscle around your jaw, which will then get you a more defined jawline. And if you know one thing about getting a strong jawline is you have to be lean. You have to have a low percentage of body fat. And when you're chewing food or when you're eating food, of course, food is calories. Calories gonna not make you fat, but they're gonna obviously increase your body fat if you're not exercising. So one thing about chewing gum over eating food to grow your jawline is that you're not gonna be having any more calories. So essentially you're gonna stay lean and work exactly what you need to work in order to get that more defined jawline. But look guys, there's a lot of myths around growing a jawline and there's a lot of truths. And I just wanna be as truthful as possible with you guys and to basically stop all the BS out there that's telling you to do this and do that on TikTok to get a strong jawline. There's only a few simple ways to actually get a good jawline, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what they are. The most basic answer to getting a strong jawline is literally just lose body fat. Fat loss makes the jawline more visible and defined. However, it doesn't increase jaw strength. Jaw strength is increased by using these gums. Drop some body fat, start training more, doing more cardio, and lower your calorie intake. The less body fat, the more visible your jaw is. The gum alone will not make a sharp jawline. But if you do want a wider, more structured jawline, along with having low body fat, just like any muscle, the more you train it, the more it grows. So training your masseter muscle is gonna increase the muscle around the jaw, which is then gonna give you a more masculine jawline. Now, one question you might have about this chewing gum is it actually safe? Like, is it safe to use? Will it break my teeth? Is it safe to put in my body? All these questions that might throw you off of actually trying it. Personally, after using it for a few months, yes, it's safe. It's actually probably one of the safest ways to grow your jawline without having any surgery or anything like that. You're essentially chewing something that is mimicking natural food. So you're literally working that natural muscle and not really doing anything that's unparticular or not supposed to be there. It just simulates hard food, simulates natural movement, and simulates natural food like red meat. It engages the masseter muscle safely and encourages balanced jaw movement. So what makes this gum any different from the rest? First of all, it's optimized for jaw growth. It's not made for fun, purely for muscle stimulation. It's the hardest gum on the market. It doesn't soften when you start chewing it straight away or in the first 30 seconds. It takes some time to warm up, which is very different to normal gum. It's actually reusable, so you can actually put it in like a container and reuse it because it's still solid. Don't know if you want to do that. Personally, I don't, because I just use a new one, but yeah. You can reuse it if you want. Look, if you want something that's flavorful, yeah, you can go for some like flavorful chewing gum that's in the regular supermarket. If you want to just grow your jaw, then you're going to use hard gum. Is it expensive? Look, you can buy it in multi-packs so you can save like that. Or look, you can reuse it so it ends up being cheaper than normal gum, because normal gum, once you chew it, it's gone. So depends how you use it and how often you use it. But if you really want results, then yeah, you got to think in your head, is it worth chewing some gum to get a solid jawline? Yes, of course, because you're gonna have a solid jawline, you're gonna look good and feel good every day. Whereas normal chewing gum, you buy it, and what does it do? It just increases your, your breath, essentially. It just makes your breath smell nicer. But this is gonna increase your jawline capacity, gonna grow the muscle in the masseter, and essentially make you look better. Whereas regular gum just makes your breath smell nice, which you can just do that from brushing your teeth. So let's actually put these gums to the test and see which one is the best and why, and essentially just find out the difference between these gums. So I'm gonna go grab Gumbell's Jawline one. This is one I bought on Amazon. Let's have a try of this. Right. All right, first impression of that, it is hard, it does soften quite quick. So look, if you want to grow your jawline, you might want something slightly harder. We've also got other ones like Tough Strips. We got this one off Amazon, bubblegum truffle flavor. I'll just quickly open that. To be perfectly honest with this one, it does smell good because I can smell it through the packaging. So look, if you want flavor, yeah, it's good. But essentially here, guys, we're actually not going for flavor, we're going for improving your jawline, right? So flavor to me doesn't matter. And yeah, essentially like flavor to me doesn't matter at all. I'm trying to grow my jawline here, and so are you guys. So I don't care about the flavor, I just care about whether it's gonna grow my jaw and how hard the gum is. And I can already tell this other gum that I've got from Amazon is just flexible and bendy. That can't be hard. No way a gum like that can grow your jaw. It's already soft in like literally seconds. Like that's probably, I give that a solid like 2 out of 10. I don't like that one. So let's go over to, I want to give the Jawline gum a taste. So we've got here cherry ice flavor. Let's give this a go. Of course, from the last gums I just tried from Amazon, they soften very quickly. That's the first thing I noticed. So they are harder than regular gum. So that's a good point, but they soften a lot quicker. Now the Jawline gum is pretty solid. Well, it broke in half straight away. Literally snapped in half instantly. All right, so it broke straight away in half because it was literally like a rock. When I bit it, it was like a rock. Way harder than the other gum. You can see the jawline working here if you look closely. But what I reckon with this gum, you actually have to warm it up in your mouth first before chewing it straight away. It just feels like I'm training another muscle in the gym. Like I hit the gym a lot, so this just feels like I'm just training my jaw. It feels pretty good actually. Testing the Jawline gum here, which has this weird shape. We saw it earlier, it's like square, but it seems a bit softer than the other one. So we're gonna go in and test this one straight off the bat. I can instantly feel that this one is a lot softer than the other gum straight away. And the key factor to actually growing the masseter muscle is by using a hard gum. So hardness is what we're looking for here. This one doesn't have great hardness, but taste wise, no taste either, absolutely no taste. Wouldn't really recommend this one just because there's no taste. It goes soft really quickly. It is harder than normal gums, but not compared to the hard gums, it's not hard at all. So we've just put all these gums to the test. Now it's time to actually choose which one we feel is best fit. So we've got tough strips. Tough strips we went over and we found that for getting the masseter muscle to really work, it's no good. It's not hard enough, it bends and it softens really quick. But if you're looking for flavor, it's great. Here, we're not looking for flavor, we're looking for the toughness and how hard the gum actually is. And compared to the other gums, it's not hard at all. Going into gum bells. Now, gum bells were pretty good. They had a nice minty taste to it. They were very hard. However, after around 5 minutes of chewing, it did soften up. This one is a really good one to try. However, it does soften up a bit quicker than the other ones I've tried. Going on to Jawline gum. Now, Jawline gum was a good gum. It's pretty hard. However, it's softer than the other two that I tried. So I wouldn't recommend it in order to grow your masseter muscle and improve jaw strength because it softens pretty quick. Within the first minute, it goes pretty soft. And you can even squash it with your fingers a little bit, which shows the toughness of the gum. Now finally, testing the Jawliner gum. The Jawliner gum was the hardest of all gums. If you do want to increase your jaw strength, this one is a pretty good one to try. Now, increasing your jaw strength is gonna basically train the masseter to get wider and have that more masculine look. So this one is definitely one to try. However, the drawback to it is the flavor. It is not flavoursome, it doesn't have a long-lasting flavour, but it does stay hard for a very, very long time. The hardest out of all the gums. But then you gotta think, who is this all for? Like, who wants to use this gum? First of all, it's for people who are serious about training their jaw. People who actually wanna grow a solid jawline and look masculine. If that's you, then this is for you. If you're like a fitness enthusiast, then this is also for you because you understand that training a muscle is gonna grow. So essentially training your masseter is gonna grow your jawline, making you look way more masculine. Who doesn't wanna look more masculine? When you're a guy, you wanna look like, you know, you go to the gym, you're healthy. It's a good look to have. It's also for people who naturally wanna regain strength in their jaw and have a naturally strong jawline. But who it's not for? People who just wanna chew gum for the flavor. Like, it's not for flavor at all. And if you don't wanna commit to this, like I said, like any other muscle, you gotta be training like daily for at least 30 days minimum. If you're not gonna commit to that, then it's not really for you because you're not gonna see results in 1 day or 2 days or 3 days. You need to stick to it. I truly hope this video did help you, whether it's increasing your jawline, making you look more masculine, adding some muscle to your jawline and giving that growth, that masculine look to you, which you actually really want. And you're gonna achieve this by chewing a gum that's really hard and a lot harder than the regular gum. Also guys, another takeaway from this is do cut the body fat, get in a calorie deficit if you do wanna see your jawline come out, because you're not gonna see it if you're just chewing gum and not going to the gym and not being in a calorie deficit where you're losing body fat, because you need that to stand out to get the jawline you desire. If this video did help you, please subscribe and leave a like on the video. I can send you the link to the products if you want, or I can leave them in the description below. Let me know guys, and I'll see you in the next video.